Okay, good morning. First of all, I want to thank you for attending this webinar. My name is Eddie Zubia. I have been in real estate for 30 years. Everything that I will be sharing with you is a result of me doing it, being in the trenches of real estate success. I have been adjusting, modifying, tweaking real estate marketing campaigns to make them profitable my whole career. It is my goal to give you some fresh, innovative ideas on how to operate your real estate career and advance it to the next level. Do you have a real estate success strategy for the next 5 to 10 years? Do you have a strategy for when, not if, for when real estate goes into another recession or another financial crisis? Let me show you how to take your real estate business to the next level. Let me show you how to set up your real estate business to thrive in a booming market or in a recession. Number one, work with real estate listings only. Why real estate listings? Let me share a story with you. I was talking to my real estate boss, mentor, and I told him that I wanted to get into real estate sales. He said, good, you will do well in real estate, but focus all your efforts on working with real estate listings only. Do not work with buyers. At the time, I did not understand. I wanted to work with everyone that could make me money in real estate. I wanted to work with first-time home buyers, with businesses, with leases, with loans. But my mentor said to work with listings only. So I listened. This is how my real estate listing business operated. My real estate business, I would turn on my listing marketing machine on campaign. I would get listings from motivated sellers. I am talking about full 6% listings, no discount real estate services here. I put them up on the MLS, and the sellers were motivated. So we would put it on the MLS and we would price them slightly under the market value. We would generate a lot of interest and get offers. Many times we get offers over the market value of the property. We get up to 20 offers. My market is Los Angeles, a very tight competitive market. So this works here, it will work anywhere. I would do one counter with our contingencies. Number one, it's going to be sold as is. We tighten up the inspection and loan contingencies and appraisal contingencies and inspections down to 5 days, just so we can get, the people who were serious. And it was to submit their best and final offer. We would not negotiate repairs or prices. It was very simple, cut and dry, and close escrow in 30 days or less. I would close an average of 3 real estate listings a month working by myself. Some of my transactions, I would get 3%. I would share the other with a buyer's agent, and 3% on 400,000, very profitable. And sometimes I would double end and make the 6% on 350,000, just depending on time, how much time we had to sell the property. I would sell, if there was no time, I would sell a property to one of my investors, buyers, that would buy any of my listings, sight unseen. It's very important. You have to be 100% honest and transparent in real estate, and the floodgates will open up to you. But it was always about getting the seller the maximum amount of money with the best in terms and conditions for them. Simple and profitable real estate plan. My real estate business was so simple and so profitable. I would get the listings. Either I would double end the house, the property, or a buyer's agent would sell it for me. Either way, I would get paid. I would not spend my time, gas, or energy driving around buyers or submitting offers. I would receive heartbreaking calls from buyers' agents that would plead with me to accept his or her offer. They would tell me that they had not closed an escrow in 3 months and 6 months and 9 months. There was nothing I could do. I had to do what was best for my sellers. That is when I understood why my boss said to work with listings only. And of course, I am sure you heard the saying that buyers are liars. So I'm telling you now, focus all your efforts on working with listings only. And how I built my real estate business. Number one, finding listing niches with little or no competition. They're out there. There's more than you can ever handle. They're right in your own backyard. You just have to learn how to find them, and I will show them to you. And once you figure it out, it will be like, this was so obvious for me. Number two, thrive in a recession or in a booming market. How did I learn this? This information is not available anywhere, not in any book, in any seminar, in any program. Nope. I learned this by doing real estate for 30 years. For the first 13 years of my real estate career, I worked for some really smart millionaire real estate investors. They owned several real estate businesses. They owned a real estate records company that had 500 clients that would pay between 300 to 500 per month. Another one owner was a real estate lender. He owned his own mortgage company. He did conventional loans, hard money loans, and the discounted paper business. I worked for a real estate bankruptcy attorney and real estate investors. These guys were different. They operated their business differently than what I had seen anybody else before. They had cash, nice homes, investment properties, investments, awesome vacations. How my bosses operated their business. They would follow and adjust their business according to the real estate market trend. When real estate was in a recession, they would do businesses that would thrive in a recession. When real estate was booming, they would adjust their business accordingly. They would do something that was booming. One very important factor about them is they did not react to the market. They would anticipate the market. I will give you an example shortly. They were never stressed out or worried about where their next client was going to come from. They would have systems for everything. I would see and meet other people in real estate, and they were always all stressed out. They would not know where their next lead or client was going to come from. They would operate their businesses off the seats of their pants. No methods, no structures, no systems. These guys were different. I learned so many things from them. They would, number one, they would follow the real estate market trend. That was the most important thing. Number two, find niches that were profitable. Number three, once they found these two were in alignment, then they would set up a system, and people like me that would work for them would run it for them. And then they would repeat the cycle just over and over. When we would start a new campaign, they would or we would all be involved. And we would do all the work, figure out all the systems, measure all the systems. They would or we would always generate our own leads. We would never buy leads. We would always generate them, because when we would buy them, they were never any good. It was always wasted time, money, and energy. I will give you some ideas on how to do it in a bit. I have made real estate success a study. I have gone outside of real estate to get depth and dimension to real estate success. All the real estate trainers teach the same thing. They teach FSBOs. They teach farming, Facebook ads, and they teach expired listings. A friend of mine recently told me that his real estate listing expired and he did not re-sign or extend the listing. So the listing expired. He received 19 calls in a matter of a few hours. He was not picking up the calls. He finally picked up a call, and it was an agent, and the agent told him what it was about re-signing with him, and that he was going to receive a lot more calls. There is nothing innovative about that. In listing generation system, I show you several real estate listing sources with literally no competition. I show you how to position yourself so that you are the only logical choice for the sellers. I have read books by Dr. W. Edward Deming. He was hired by the country of Japan in the 1950s to help them rebuild their country. He would be hired by Toyota, Porsche, and Ford. His His daily consulting fee in the 1980s was $15,000 per day. I have attended seminars by Jay Abraham. Jay Abraham charges $5,000 per hour with an 8-hour minimum to consult with you. His seminars range anywhere from $3,000 to $25,000. He is a business strategist and one of the top copywriters in the world. And for fine tuning, to learn all the key phrases to say at like a listing appointment, I know all the materials of Tom Hopkins, Mike Ferry, Tom Ferry. I was a member of Buyer Referral Only for 1 year. You must always be learning new skills. If not, you will be left behind. Okay, understanding the real estate market cycle. The year was 1998. I was working for a real estate bankruptcy attorney. We were doing Chapter 13 bankruptcy cases. The attorney specialized in Chapter 13 bankruptcy cases. Very simply put, a property owner that was behind with their house payments would come into the attorney's office. The attorney would set up a Chapter 13 bankruptcy reorganization. There are thousands of these cases. And in a bit, I will show you how to get all the listings you could ever handle with no competition. Nobody works these, and there are several other sources of motivated listing leads with no competition. A Chapter 13 case is a bankruptcy federal organization. Let's say a property owner is behind with their house payments. They are behind $15,000. The Chapter 13 case has to go through a process to get approved, confirmed. That's what the court calls it. The attorney prepares a plan. The $15,000 that they are delinquent gets paid over 36 to 60 months. They have to make their regular monthly mortgage payment plus the plan payment, which is the $15,000 divided by 36 to 60 months. It just depends what the court approves. The process is this. They file a Chapter 13 paperwork. Approximately 30 days after, they go to a 341A meeting of creditors, and approximately 30 days after that, they go to a confirmation hearing when the court approves a plan. So my boss knew several real estate lenders, and when a client had equity, a good job, good income, we would refer them to a real estate lender to get a new first deed of trust. B and C type loans. We were trying to get Chapter 13 cases confirmed, and a funny thing was happening. Our real estate lender was getting loans approved. It was easier to get a new real estate first deed of trust, a decent loan, a bit above prime, like 5-year fixed, and then they would convert. Then the plan was to convert them, then a bit above prime. Then the loan would convert to an adjustable rate loan. And if the homeowner would make their payments on time for 1 or 2 years, then the plan was to get them into a 30-year fixed again. Okay, in a bit, I'm going to tie all this together, and hopefully you'll have an aha moment. So in the bottom of the 90s recession was 1994. So just 24 months before, in 1996, before 1998, right? So right now it's 1998. That's what I'm talking about here. Right, so the year is 1998, and then in just 24 months before 1996, nobody was getting a real estate loan. It was almost impossible to get a loan. So back to 1998, I did not understand what was happening. I went to my boss and I told him I asked him what's happening. I said, "Do you have a minute?" My boss said, "Sure." So then I asked him, I said, "Something weird is happening. It's easier to get a real estate loan from a conventional lender than to get a Chapter 13 bankruptcy confirmed. What is happening?" I asked him. He already knew what was happening, but he did not say anything to me. He responded by saying, "What do you think is happening?" with a smirk. Our economy was shifting and we were getting out of the recession. That was what was happening. So from 1998 till 2005, real estate was soaring. My mentor boss, real estate guys, were anticipating the market, and he knew real estate was going to blossom, and it did. Although I do not think he or anybody knew how strong the market was going to be. With record-shattering prices of 25 to 30% appreciation per year, interest rates were low, real estate was booming. He and his partners made millions between 98 and 2001. And the only reason they stopped in 2001 because they just got tired of making so much cash and they retired. That is what I am talking about here, being innovative with your real estate business. If you set up yourself in that manner, and I will show you how to do it. When the real estate market shifts, you have to be ready. You cannot be like, what do I do? What do I do? The real estate market is going to shift. It will change. You can either be ready for it and profit from it, or you can be like everyone else. Anticipate the market and profit from it. Like I learned from my millionaire real estate investors, mentors, I am always gauging the real estate market to anticipate the next crash, the next recession, the next boom. In my real estate listing system, I go into more detail and break everything down step by step. And I show you and give you different examples. My bosses would always be timing the market as well. So our previous recession was in 2008. The actual collapse when Lehman Brothers filed for bankruptcy was in September of 2008. I was doing real estate listings. I was feeling the real estate cool down in 2005 and 2006, but the media was saying how strong our economy was. I knew it was not. After Lehman Brothers filed for bankruptcy, that is when the media started saying we were in a financial crisis, a financial typhoon. So in 2008, the media, it collapsed. In 2012, that's when we were recovering. The market started getting strong. Now it's 2018, almost 2019. And there was a recent article published by Harvard, and I will send you the article. The article states that the next crash will be in 2024. They forecasted the 90s crash and the 2008 crash. I will make the link available to you if you want to read the article. This is exactly what my bosses would do, and they would make millions. So, real estate timing strategy. They would read an article from a credible source, and they would gauge the market. There are several other things to look at, but I cannot go into them here. It will take too much time. But I go everything into listing generation system. But now it's 2018, almost 2019. So the market's going to crash in 2024 again. So we have 2 to 3 good years of this strong economy. We could, or you could, do real estate listings the way I show you how. I show you several real estate listing sources with literally no competition. The person that helped me set up my real estate business was my real estate mentor, getting all the leads for free from public records. First, we build your first pillar of real estate listings, where you are closing an average of 3 listings a month. Then we build you a second pillar of real estate listing sources. So your first pillar could be the bankruptcy listings. There's more listings that you could ever handle. The next one could be Chapter 7 trustees. The next one could be Chapter 11 trustees. The next one could be divorce lawyers, probate lawyers. So you build all of them, and so you have a solid business. And right now, you start building your relationship with asset companies, loan servicing companies, banks, credit unions to get REO listings from them. And when the market shifts or crashes or whatever, 2022 or 23 or 24, 25, nobody knows for sure, but you will be ready. So how about if you do 15 listings a month from them? If you set up yourself right, you could get hundreds of listings from them. The asset companies and the loans and the the asset companies and the loan servicing companies and the credit unions and the small banks that have loans and assets in your area. You start building your relationship with them now, today. I show you how to find them. Because if you start when the market is already crashed, by that time it's too late. You will be late to the party. So timing the real estate market. In 2005, I was feeling the crunch. It was getting harder and harder to close an escrow. And I anticipated the crash in late 2006. I started a property preservation business to clean out foreclosed properties. All of my real estate buddies and colleagues that did not change and adjust their business when the market was telling us it was changing, they were sticking their heads in the sand, hoping that everything would go back to the way it was, from 98 till 2005, 2006. They went through very hard financial times. They lost their businesses for sure. They lost their homes, cars, etc., credit. In 2006 and 7, the media was saying how strong our economy was and that we were booming. I knew it was not. And I started a property preservation business to clean up foreclosed properties. So I cleaned up foreclosed properties from 2008 until 2012 and 13. Made a bunch of money. Real estate success system. I created listing generation system, a real estate success system. Everything that I learned from my bosses is brilliant real estate businessmen that would make millions. Everything that I learned from 30 years of attending seminars, reading books, being a member of expensive coaching clubs. Real estate listing system shows you several sources of real estate listings with literally no competition. Sellers that will practically beg you to take their listings. Great properties in great neighborhoods with great clients. These transactions are easier to close than farming or when they come from conventional method sources because these sellers are motivated. There's no wasted time negotiating repairs or the minor stuff. Sign up today. It's going to be 6 modules of live webinars. You can do one payment of $9.95. If you do the one payment, I'll give you a bonus. I give you the listing letters, the flyers, the brochures that took me years of work. And I spent tens of thousands of dollars on creating them, printing them, and sending them out. They work 100% of the time. They are very effective. Or you can do 4 payments of $297. If you have any questions, I will make myself available to you. My cell number is 213-804-7437. It's the same cell number that I have always had. And it's the same cell number that I have always had. Or you can sign up at listinggenerationsystem.com/webinar. The page looks like this. Okay, and my staff is familiar with this type of marketing. They will be available to you if you want to use them to create your flyers, your brochures, your websites. Since this is non-conventional thinking, most people are not aware of how to make a website that will be optimized for Chapter 13 bankruptcy listings. And it will be at modest pricing, not expensive. Thank you for attending.